When working internationally, there could be assumed risks of it's a new space, there's new compliance requirements, or maybe you know that you're an international business and you're working in the United States and you want to be sure that you're working appropriately with your subsidiaries that might be global. One thing to account for is understanding how you have to set up each of those entities, what places of separation or firewalling you need to do in your own organization. And best tips of practice is to be familiar with the compliance requirements by working with legal experts that understand the space, understand the regulations, and having a dedicated contracts team for those regulations. It can be a lot to both leverage EU regulations and US regulations when it comes to cybersecurity or data management, for example. And so being able to separate those requirements, being able to understand what reporting requirements may be needed for each country is really critical as well. Additionally, you want to make sure that your policies and procedures for each entity is properly set up. The regulations that you may have working with the Department of Defense may be totally different in the types of policies and procedures you may have for commercial companies. So making sure that you understand what that separation is and you have employees that understand what guidance they have to follow depending on what project they're working on. And if there is reporting requirements, whether that's financial, whether that's invoicing, whether that's project reporting that you have to do based on the contract, being able to manage that risk, listening to your contracts managers, being able to listen to your legal is going to be really critical to your success because it's going to avoid pitfalls. It's going to avoid pitfalls, for example, that could have criminal charges in some cases, sometimes civil charges, but also it could be a loss of business if you are not compliant with, for example, cybersecurity requirements or protecting government data.